Okay, I know where I'm starting anyway. I know where I can start. I know. Yeah, we're in First Kings. Let's sing a song before we start. Unless y'all want to get straight into this. Y'all sing a song first? Huh? There's T in the back. We're going to First Kings chapter 11 is where we're going to go, but we're going to sing a song first, okay? Page 67 at Calvary. Right, so we're in chapter 11 now. Just sing on. Everybody grab your songbook and stand and sing. Page 67. Here we go. Years I spent in vanity and pride, caring not my Lord was crucified, knowing not it was for me he died on Calvary. Mercy there was great and grace was free, pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. By God's word at last my sin I learned, then I trembled at the law I'd spurned, till my guilty soul imploring turned to Calvary. Mercy there was great and grace was free, pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. Third verse. Now I've given to Jesus everything. Now I gladly own him as my king. Now my raptured soul can only sing of Calvary. Mercy there was great and grace was free. Pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. You know, when we sing it, when we sung this before, if we have a whole bunch of people that know the song, that's singing, we don't have to look at the words, and we're singing along. In the chorus, people say, mercy there was great as grace was free. Well, people throw stuff in there like that. Well, pardon there was multiplied to me, and there my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. So feel free to add the words if you want to. I don't go by the words half the time anyway. Here we go, last verse. Oh, the love that drew salvation's plan. Oh, the grace that brought it down to man. Oh, the mighty gulf that God did span at Calvary. Mercy there was great and grace was free. Pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. Thank you. Have a seat. Let's go to Lord in prayer. Does anybody have a spoken prayer request? Okay. 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 Pray for Becky and her family. Papa Smith passed away Monday morning. And the viewings tonight from 6 to 8, that's what kind of we're running just a little bit late getting here. And I'm sure there's people, someone asked where David Underwood's at. I'm sure he's down at the funeral home with him. And the funeral's tomorrow, I think at 2 o'clock, if I remember right, at Cunningham's. So if y'all can get down there, it'd be good. And with Tammy and I were down there, and Rebecca and Josiah with the family till 6 o'clock, I guess, then we come out here. So just pray for that family. They knew it was coming. It's not like Preacher died of a heart attack. Nobody knew expected him to die, or Bub died in a car wreck. No one expected him to die. Hardin was 90 years old, lived a real full life, a great life, and he's been with hospice care for a long time. Declining health, and everyone expected it, just didn't know when. So pray for him. You ask who I'm talking about? Yeah, a couple months ago, he's here, sat up here in a wheelchair, and he was coughing, and he's World War II paratrooper, a good guy, just good to everybody, forever. Now, I've known him I was talking to Randy today. We've known him for 37 years, and Tammy and I were just teenagers when we met him, and they were good to us, from the time we met him, from the day we met him. He never said a crossword to anybody. Was always kind and always good. Could fix anything, worked on anything. I can give a testimony about Hardin, but he was out of church for a long time, probably for 20 years. He was out of him and Holly were out of church, and they came and sat about where you guys are at that road. And for the first time they came after we'd started the church here, and they started coming. The first time they came, they'd sat there, and it's like everything changed. And he'd been they had a rough 20 years, I'll say, and then they got back in church. They were out of church for a while, but then once they got back in church, it's just like everything came. Everything's kind of fell into place for them. A good life, and Dave and Becky was good to them. They were good to Dave and Becky, and just all the way around. So, and they were just, and if you say Harden, half the kids wouldn't even know who I'm talking about. They all called him Pawpaw Smith. I mean, for the last 20 years, all the kids called him Pawpaw. So, because he was only, like, I didn't have a grandfather. He was the only close thing that I had to a grandfather, because they were all calling him Pawpaw. But anyway, his funeral's tomorrow, so pray for that family. Right, he's always here when working. The last time when we were building the thing up here on the hill, Becky brought him out. He couldn't get out of the car, but got him out here just sit with us for a few minutes, and while we were building the picnic shelter last spring, I guess was, and it's probably about one of the last times we got out here. So. No, all parts are still all the parts are still up there by the door, I think. Okay. I do it myself, but the insurance wouldn't cover the fire. Oh, I would try it. I stay away from like that. I can change outlets. I changed the light thing the other day, not just the bulb, but I shouldn't have stared at that thing. I can change the fixture and stuff, but other than that. So, okay. Anybody else with prayer requests, spoken requests? Anybody with an unspoken request, something you want to pray about, not to mention out loud? Okay, let's go to the Lord in prayer. The Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be in your house tonight. Lord, I pray for the families that have special needs, the families that are here tonight have special needs, the families that are home tonight that have special needs. We know that you know what's best. I pray that you'll work through us and give us wisdom in every decision we make. And I pray for Becky and her family, Randy and Gene and Mike, all of them, that you'll comfort them, that they can rejoice in a good life and a long life. I pray that you'll give more great memories, joy rather than the sorrow of missing their father and grandfather. I pray that you'll bless our service tonight, that in all we do, we want to bring honor and glory to you. I pray that you'll give me wisdom as I speak, and give us wisdom as we study your word together. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. All right, I want to get right into this. 1 Kings chapter 11, I think it is. 1 Kings chapter 11. Most often, when we have a holiday or something, I don't do much for holidays, or say much for holidays, or center a message around a holiday. And the message I had written out for tonight, I don't have, because I don't know where my Bible's at, the other Bible's at, so we'll go by this one. I'm going to read the verses I was going to start with in 1 Kings chapter 11, and we're going to start there and go from there. If you have questions, fire away, because we'll try to answer all the questions you have on this subject, okay? 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave to these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Stop reading right there. Okay, look at this way. Okay? Solomon, the wisest man in all the world, the richest man probably in all of history. Okay? He has everything. And up until this time in his life, God has spoken to him verbally, has spoken to him twice. The first time he said, ask me any question you want. Ask for anything, I'll give it to you. And Solomon said, I want wisdom. How can I lead your people without wisdom? God gave him the wisdom. And then came back to him later and asked him something else and spoke to him another time. Okay? But if you'll look over in chapter 10, if I can find these verses, I don't have it marked in this Bible. I want to look at a couple of verses of what Solomon has up to this point, okay? What his life is like, okay? Because we know he lives in a palace. He spent 13 years been in his palace. Look at chapter 10, verse 14. Now, the weight of the gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold. You can read different what talents are. One place that we might tell you, one Bible dictionary group of people will tell you that a talent is 2 pounds. So if someone has 603 score, 603 scores, 660 and 6 talents, that's 666. If it's 2 pounds, That's 1,300 pounds of gold. That's a lot, right? For coming, that's a lot to come into. This is his personal treasury. Comes in a year's time. Okay. No, okay. So it's billions of dollars a year. 1,800,000,000 some million. So is that what it says? 127 million a year. Okay, that's pretty good income. Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, that's not chump change for his personal income. Okay, that's that's like an NBA player or something, isn't it? Okay, that's a lot. Okay, I mean he's already overlaid his house with gold. And he's got everything in the world already. Okay, let's read a couple more verses because it doesn't have nothing to do with the money. God says He'll bless people with this. Let's read on down. Besides that, he had merchants men with traffic of spice merchants of all the kings of Arabia and of the governors of the country. And King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold, and 600 shekels of gold went to one target. And he made 300 shields of beaten gold. 3 pounds of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. That's like a big. That is not the temple. That's his house, I think. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory. This is neat. If you can picture this stuff, he made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best gold. So his throne, you think of this, just he's talking about a seat, right? The throne is included. Let's see what it's not just the seat that he's sitting on is made out of gold. Not like that TV evangelist guy who's made his throne out of gold or looks like gold, probably fake stuff, probably plastic. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory. Verse 19. The throne had 6 steps, so this is included in the throne. It's all covered with gold. The throne had 6 steps, so the top of the throne was round behind, and then and there were stays on either side on the place like armrests on either side of the place of the seat. And 2 lions stood beside the stays, and 12 lions stood there on the one side and on the other upon the 6 steps. There was not like made in any kingdom. Stop reading right there. Can you picture this? Here's this guy sits on a throne made out of gold, and the throne includes the 6 steps going down to it, coming up to it, right? And he's got lions made that are not live lions laying there on the steps, but lions that are standing on each step. There's nothing like this in all the world. We can read another verse. I could look it up. We can read another verse that he had a chair brought in for his mom to sit beside it. Okay, because no one else was going to sit up there on the throne with him, but he had her come in. Bathsheba, he had her come and sit with him sometimes. Okay. This guy has everything. Okay, let's read a couple more verses. I like this. Verse 21, all the king's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. None were of silver. They wouldn't bow down to having just silver in the house. It's all gold, okay? And there's nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. That means gold was so plentiful, it didn't really matter much to anybody around him. Just stop reading right there. Look at verse 25. Verse 23, 24 talks about his navy. And they brought verse 25, and they brought every man his presents, vessels of silver and vessels of gold, and garments and armor and spices, and horses and mules at a rate year by year. And, and Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen, had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the cities for chariots, in which the king of Jerusalem. So people brought him stuff all the time. Okay? Why? Look at verse 22. I missed this verse. The king had a sea of navy Tarshish, and with the navy at Hiram. We talked about Hiram a couple weeks ago. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver and ivory and apes and peacocks. Let me ask you this. Anybody want to have a monkey when you're a kid? Did anybody in here have a monkey when you were a kid? Did anybody think about it? We were watching a kids movie with Josiah the other day, and Rebecca said she always wanted remember Miss Tammy said that she always wanted a chimpanzee when she was a kid. Anybody think that would have been a great idea when you were a kid? You wanted to Lancelot, Link, Sink, or Chimp? I remember back that far. Vicky remembers that. She remember when it was one reruns. Okay, he had them. Okay, people brought him stuff, spices from across different countries, or different garments from different countries. They brought him peacocks. Okay, because he liked them. Okay, they're pretty. They make funny sounds. They brought monkeys in, or apes. Okay, I couldn't think that they'd bring like big gorillas in, but probably chimpanzees and different monkeys. Just for his entertainment, just because he liked having them around. He had, in other verses we look at, he had singers come in. Okay, he had entertainers come in. We think of watching TV, big screen TV. He had live TV. Okay, they come in, perform plays or sing choirs or whatever. It's soloists or groups of people come and sing for him all the time. He had everything, right? He had one wife to start off with. She was the daughter, if I understand this right, she was the daughter of the king of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, Pharaoh of Egypt. Okay, so he married her just because this king wants make an alliance with the king of Israel. This king of Egypt wants to have good relations with this king of Israel, so he gives him his daughter to wife. Okay, so the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, gives Solomon his daughter as a wife. Okay, nice gift. And Solomon said, maybe I should have had more monkeys instead. I don't know. Maybe someone could have brought me more animals in here instead of more wives. They end up, so everyone does that. And this is like a harem, that's what we call it. Okay, he's got 700 wives. Wonder how long the line was to get in the bathroom. Oh, just kidding, in the morning. Okay, bad joke. He's got 700 wives. 300, and they said 700 wives, princesses. You know what that means? When I read that, that means people that brought him this lady to be his wife. They were princesses of all the little towns, and we talk about different kings. Sometimes the king might be a king over just a city in those days, and they all brought Solomon their wife, their daughter, to be his wife. Why? They went to make an allegiance or alliance with him. Okay, it's almost like say it the wrong way. A contractual agreement sometimes. 700 wives, 300 concubines. Okay, it's given to him. Okay. Problem is, Solomon's got a heart of gold, not just a throne of gold. He has a heart that wants to. Up until this point, he loves God. He serves God. He asks God for wisdom. God gives him wisdom. The book of Proverbs is what's all Solomon wrote when he was young. Before this day, it's all written before this day. Ecclesiastes is the book that he writes when he is old, after he makes mistakes. Here's the mistake that he makes. He falls in love with these women. Well, Brother John, how can you fall in love with so many women? I don't know if he was falling in love. The Bible says he loved many wives. Let me read the verse. We read verse 3 it was. I think it's verse 2 or 3. And Solomon, verse 1, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughter of Pharaoh. Okay? Of all these nations, verse 2, that God told him not to deal with. God said, when the children of Israel came, when God brought the children of Israel into this land, which is now called Israel, he said, I want you to drive out all those people. I don't want your sons to marry their daughters. I don't want your daughters to marry their sons, because they will turn your heart away from me. Okay? That's exactly what happened to Solomon. In all the wealth that he has, doesn't matter. All the riches, monkeys and peacocks and horses and chariots and all that stuff, all the robes from the different countries, all the spices or whatever it is that came from the different countries, none of that really matters. So whatever the number was, that $128 million a year income, whatever that number is, doesn't really matter, because his heart wasn't right anymore. Okay, and he starts worshiping. Well, this girl's come from Egypt, and she's worshiping some other god, so we let her build her a temple over there to her god, and this girl married, I married her. Solomon loved these women. So if she wanted to worship some other god, and listen, Molech, Ashtoreth, all these other gods. Molech, they offered the human sacrifice, several of these gods. They offered human sacrifices. That means their first child, they'd go take it into the temple and kill it. Okay? Or they'd redeem their own child. Well, here's our bouncing baby boy. We're not going to give our God, our baby up to our God, but we'll take someone else's servant's baby, take it in there and sacrifice it. Okay? Offer it up on sacrifice. God, not much different than the Muslims do today. Okay? Kill someone else's children, put them on a bus. Turned Solomon's heart away from God. Okay? So when it says, when I read this, Solomon loved many women, strange women. When I read this, Charlie, it says Solomon loved them. It doesn't say anywhere they loved him. Okay? Okay. Hey, I'll talk about love tonight for a few minutes. I guess it's Valentine's Day. It's close enough to get on Valentine's Day. We'll talk about love for a few minutes. Here's love. The Bible says love is the fulfilling of the law. New Testament verse, and I can't look it up. Love is the fulfilling of the law. Love is doing the right thing. Okay? For a lot of people, love is emotion. Okay, and a lot of times he loves her, she loves him. They come up here on the platform, they say "I do," and as soon as the emotion is gone, the love ends. Okay, the romance is over. They don't love. They don't love anymore. Okay, it's just for some people it's emotion. A song during the '60s is just a cheap emotion. Okay, it's not an emotion. Love is an action. It is a fulfilling of the law. It is doing what you're supposed to be doing. Solomon was doing what he's supposed to be doing up to this point. And when he turned his heart from God to these other women and let them do what they wanted to do and said, okay, you build this, we'll build this temple, we'll kill that child, whatever you want to do. And it got to that point, he didn't love God anymore. And those women, I don't think they anyone loved him. You only read of one loving him, and that's in the book. It's called the Song of Solomon. It comes after, if you read Psalms and Proverbs, it's the next one, Ecclesiastes, and then Song of Solomon. It tells about a romance between Solomon and another woman. I don't even think it's the Pharaoh's daughter. I think that's someone that she didn't know he was the king. That she felt this woman falls in love with him, not knowing who he is. Okay, what's love then? I had a brother in Christ standing right here going through a trial. And so Brother John, we sat and talked for a little while one day, a while back, a couple years ago. And I'll pray with you. I'll fast and pray with you. We'll work through this, whatever has to be done. And he gave me a big hug and said, I love you, brother. I said, I love you, brother. And we'll take care of this, okay? But as soon as his problem was over, he couldn't come to church anymore. He didn't come back. He hasn't been here in a long time. As soon as his problem was resolved, it's like, okay, and I don't have time for God. My problems are all my problems are resolved. I don't need to go to church anymore. And so, okay, brother, do you still love me? Okay, you still gonna say you love me? I was talking to Randy Smith. I love Randy. He's been a good friend of mine. We're at the funeral home tonight before we came here. Randy and I have been friends since Tammy and I were 19 when they came to our church. So he would have been about 25 years old, 24, 25 years old, and Randy just hugged me and he said, I love you, brother. I love him. He's my brother. We're friends, been great friends for 37 years. If I called him tonight and said I need, he would say, okay. If he called me tonight and said I need, I'd say, whatever you need. Brother John, I don't feel that way towards people. Okay. Let's go back to the husband-wife thing for a few minutes with the romance love. So we got the Valentine's Day. Anybody here buy flowers or candy, anything yet? Anybody buy gifts yet? Marlon did. Okay. Danny? Charlie? Still got tomorrow. Okay. They're cheaper, yeah. The price drops back down on a Friday if you wait till then. Okay. I know of a guy, personally, I know this guy that he did this. He was out with his son, and they were on their bus route making visits on Saturday. And on the way home, he remembered it was his wife's birthday. No, it was their anniversary. He remembered it was their anniversary. He was supposed to pick up flowers. So they stopped and picked up flowers somewhere on the way home. He didn't have any money. Okay? So he stopped and picked up flowers on the way home. And his son said, he gave his wife the flowers. And his son, who was only about 6 years old at the time, said, yeah, we got them where the dead people live. That's a true story. It wasn't me. I didn't have a son, 6-year-old son. It wasn't me who's telling that story. And the wife told the story. She's funnier about it than I am. And his dad, oh man, okay. It's not about the flowers and the gifts, okay? Okay. But what's love? What is emotion? To me, it's an action word. And someone may say, hopefully, the kids that have grown up in this church, me being a youth pastor, hopefully the kids would say, Brother John and Miss Tammy loved them. Okay? I don't know if they would, but I think they would. I hope they would, because of doing stuff with them or for them or whatever we could do. Okay? But love can be interpreted doing, like I may do something for somebody that they want me to do something else. Okay? I don't have any money, but if somebody wants money or needs money, and they may come and ask me for money, and I say no, I don't have it. Okay, if I had it and they need it, and I thought it's a good investment, I give it to them. But somebody may come to me and say, "Well, Brother John doesn't love me. Well, I'll do everything else I can for you, or I may do something in a way that you may not think that's loving you." Someone. Tammy read this book, which I've never read. She told me about it. It's called the Four Love Languages. Anybody read that book? Okay, it's like 4 different love languages. For some people, it's touch. Okay, like when they want to touch somebody. Always put the hand on your arm when they talk to you or whatever. That is the way. I've got family members that way. Okay, that whenever they're around you, they have to have the hand on you. That's there's nothing wrong with that. But there's some people that's where they are. Some people it's giving gifts. Okay, some people is you want to give stuff. They want to give you stuff. We had a family that was visiting here several years ago. They came up from Florida. One of Teeny's sons. He came up from Florida, and the day he got back to Florida, he called me. He said, "Johnny, I noticed you need this. I want to buy it and send it to you." Okay, because that's the way he said he wanted to tell me he loved me. He said, "I think you need this. Let me buy it and send it to you." Okay, I was sitting on the couch with him in his mother's house one Christmas when Tammy and I were in college, and he said, "Johnny, if you need anything, I'll give it to you." He had money to give me whatever I'd ask for. Okay, he owned a car dealership, automobile dealership. He could give me anything he wanted. And he said, "Johnny, if you want anything, I'll give it to you. All you gotta do is ask." I never asked him for anything, but that was his way of saying, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give it to you. That's his way of showing that love. Other people show love by doing stuff for somebody. Okay, some people like for you to sit and talk to them. Okay, I'm not good at that a lot of times. Okay, but I'll cut your grass. Okay, I'm not volunteering right now. Hey, the grass not growing. I can say I'll do it for you this week. But some people they want you to sit and talk. I'm not good at that sometimes. And sometimes I do better if I'm cutting the grass or painting your barn, or I'm working on something for you. Okay, I can fix something. I can work on your house. I put a roof on people's house before. I can say we put a roof on Miss Joe's house a year ago. Charlie, Danny was in on this, and we put a roof on Miss. That's the way we say we love it. We can give you something or do something for you. She can say I love you back by fixing that Italian soup stuff that was really good. Yeah, 4 bowls. I'd say you liked it. Yeah. And that's why Miss Joe's says I love you to. That's why she says I love you to these kids. That she gives them the little candies that she makes every Sunday for the Sunday school class. She gives them a little treat every week. Okay, everybody expresses their love in a different way. But love is the fulfilling of the law according to Scriptures. That means you're doing something for somebody within the boundaries of what is right and wrong. Okay. Bible says, "Husbands, love your wives." Okay. Even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So any husband that's going to love his wife is going to look at his wife and say, I'm going to give my life for you. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Okay? Whatever you ask. Okay? Nikki just paid me $25 to say that, so I hope it'll sink in. I'll give my life for you, whatever you ask for. Okay? Okay, I'll say this. I saw that in my parents. Okay? If my dad would do anything my mom wanted to do. Wherever she wanted to go, whatever she wanted to do, he was game. If they had money for it, they were doing it. If they didn't have the money for it, they'd pay for it later. Okay? He would do for her anything she wanted. Husbands, love your wives. Bible also says the husband's the head of the house. And even as Christ is also the head of the church. Right? The same verses. It all goes in the same Ephesians chapter 6. So you can look up the verses. Okay. We were at, I may have told this story Sunday morning or Sunday night. We were at a funeral home last week, Saturday, and there was a man standing. Tammy was like from here to that little candle thing away from me, and there was a man standing here, and his wife came up to him, and he said, "I need a cup of coffee." He pointed to the carafe over there where the coffee's at. That's basically how he said, "I need some coffee. I need a cup of coffee." So she humbly went over, got him a cup of coffee, and came back over, and he said, "It needs some cold water in it. There's a fountain back there." And so he was almost like barking out the commands. Okay? Okay. Now, I know Christians, I know some preachers that way. To them, when they look at that verse that says the husband's the head of the wife, head of the house, okay? They look at that and say, "Woman, caveman, let me drag you around by the hair and you're going to do what I tell you to do." Okay? And also, the Bible also says, "Giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel." Okay? Because he's stronger, he can overpower her and do what she has to do. What she says, okay, what he says. And I think that guy got the verse wrong. That guy that was doing the talking on Saturday, I think that guy got that verse completely wrong. Okay, but the truth is, that lady did that, well, she'd get the coffee and then go back. After he said to go get some, put water in it, she went back to put cold water in it, bring it back to him. Why'd she do that? She's stupid, Brother John. I wouldn't do that. No. She loved him. Okay? Bible also says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You know who you love? Those who you invest in. Okay? If you make a sacrifice for somebody, you'll love them. Okay? If you give to people, you'll love them. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about your family or the kids back here, okay? Or there's Sunday school class, doesn't matter who it is. If you make a sacrifice for somebody, you give to somebody, you'll love them. Remember last week we talked about gifts? We talked about Hiram and the gift and talk about giving gifts. And sometimes somebody they love us so they give us a gift, but we don't understand that love that they gave us. We don't understand the gift that they gave us. They see it that this is the best thing I can give you. Okay? We think, gee, thanks. That's not what I had in mind. Okay? Okay. Love is the fulfilling of the law. If you want to love somebody, one of the biggest controversies, one of our state senators, House of Representatives from Mercer County, I think is where he's from, got in trouble this past week. He's also a preacher. He's a blind House of Representative. He's a preacher. He preaches against homosexuality, just like all preachers, real preachers do. Any kind of immoral activity, this guy preaches against it. He's called a hate monger by people. He said the most hateful group in America today is LGBTQ whatever community, because they're almost as bad as the terrorists in America today for their actions and their demanding of special rights. Okay, people say he hates. He doesn't hate. He doesn't hate those people. Okay, that's not what he was getting. His hate speech. It wasn't hate speech. He's saying that's sinful. According to the Bible, it's sinful. Okay, okay. He may love somebody, and someone may say he doesn't. Let's say he has a gay neighbor. Okay, LGBTQT, whatever the numbers are. Okay. And they keep adding to the list, right? So see, let's say he has a gay neighbor, but he's good to that neighbor all the time. Could that neighbor say he hates me because I'm gay? The neighbor could say that he hates me because I'm gay. God doesn't hate him. He's just saying what you're doing is sinful. Okay? I've had neighbors that were alcoholics. I didn't hate them because they're alcoholics, but I wouldn't mind calling them. I didn't mind saying alcohol. Drinking like it's wrong. Okay? Jesus can help you with that if you want to get saved. Okay. So, love is fulfilling of the law, doing the right thing. Love is not necessarily roses or candy or flowers. Love is doing what's the right thing. How do we know it's right? First of all, you got to read this. Okay? Then, you know what Proverbs is? I've said this a bunch of times. Proverbs, wisdom from God, is understanding yourself and other people in God. Maybe you got that in wrong order. Maybe you understand God first, and you understand yourself better, and you understand other people better. But by understanding that, then you'll know how to love people. Tam and I had this conversation sometimes. We'll talk about somebody has a need. Well, how we help them. She looks for how does that person perceive the love. Okay? And there's some people that we've done for, given to, taken, whatever. We try to love them or try to invest in that doesn't receive the love the way we want. The way we love you, so we did this, and they said, well, that's great, but I wanted more. Sorry. We love you, so we did this. Yeah, but I didn't want that. Okay. So Solomon's heart was turned. Think about this. All that he had, he turned his back on it. Okay? He was still king of Israel. His kids are growing up in his house. They're seeing what he's done. He's 700 wives, 300 concubines. He has a whole bunch of kids. Okay? Rehoboam will be the next king over Israel. He's going to lose. Up until this day, until 1 Kings chapter 11, Solomon has no enemies. He has no enemies in foreign countries. He has no enemies within the nation of Israel. He has no enemies anywhere. After this day, Jeroboam rebels against him, and who was a wise man, a great servant, a great leader. And Jeroboam rebels against Solomon, but doesn't make it public. He just kind of slips off to a different country, okay? And then comes back after Solomon dies and takes 88% of the kingdom away from Solomon's son, Rehoboam, okay? All because Solomon's heart was given to these women. And Jeroboam, not his son was Rehoboam, not his son, ends up with 88% of the kingdom, okay? Now, so what's love? Fulfilling of the law. Husbands, obey your wives. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, obey your husbands. We've read the verse, wives, obey your husbands. And some lady came up to me after church and said, "But John, you knew what kind of husband I had. You'd never read that verse. You'd block that one out." Okay? But that's what it says. Okay? Okay. Okay. If a husband goes home and takes the verse out of the Bible that says, "Wives, be submissive to your husbands, submit your husbands and everything," and everything, okay? He takes that verse and prints it out, puts it real big on the refrigerator door, okay? He's stupid, okay? But if he takes the husbands, will love your wives and be not bitter against them, okay? Husbands, love your wives and even as Christ also would love the church and gave himself for it. If a husband takes that verse and blows it up and puts it in front of his Bible, or puts it on the nightstand where he sits and reads, or whatever, or puts it on the dashboard of his car somewhere where or in the armrest, or the armrest folds up, and you'll see that verse all the time. It'll be a reminder to you. You'll love your wife. Okay. If a wife takes a verse and says be submissive to your husband, and she blows that verse up, puts it on the refrigerator door, it's okay. Okay? Well, I was loving my wife. I was giving her a Bible verse to memorize. Okay? Okay. The Bible says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." Okay? Now, we had Rebecca memorize that verse, and every parent has a child memorize that verse. But, man, it's more important to lead the life, to show them what the Christianity is supposed to be like. And they'll want to. Okay? They'll want to obey you. Okay. Any questions on love? But John, why did Solomon do that? He's human. Okay? And there's only a couple of people in the Bible that you'll read about, that you'll read much about. You won't find mistakes in them. Like Elijah, you can't find anything about him. Eli never did anything wrong, but his sons didn't do well. Joseph, you read a lot about Joseph, but you can't see where he did anything wrong. Okay? But everyone else, you'll see what they had faults. They had flaws. Okay? Right. Right. You still give to make that choice. It all comes back down to choice. Look, God's the one who put the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the middle of the Garden of Eden, right? He put that tree there, and the serpent beguiled or tricked Eve into eating the fruit. Okay, the serpent tricked Eve by making her doubt what God had said, because God said, "Don't eat it, you'll die." Okay, and the serpent said, "Test God said." That's the first words out of his mouth to Eve. That's God said. He said, "That shall not surely die. You're not going to die if you eat that. Okay, it's not going to hurt you." And she saw, "Who's going to make me wise? I'm going to be smart." She took the fruit. She gave Adam to eat. Okay, God put the tree there for her, and she had to decide. See, am I going to obey what God said, or am I going to do what I want? Man, that's good looking fruit. Okay? If I want to diet, no, I'm not on a diet. But if I want to diet, Rebecca baked something. Well, she baked something last night. She bakes every day. I don't know why she does this. I know why she does this. She baked this stuff last week. You know, like those cream horns at the grocery store, right? So it's kind of that kind of flaky type thing. That's good stuff. And then she baked it, and she cut them in half, and put the cream filling like what's in the middle of the cream horn, but it's made out of, I don't know. I don't know what she made out of. I got a spoonful of it before she put the sugar in. It wasn't very good, but then she put like 8 pounds of confectionery sugar in, and it was really good. And so I got a spoonful of that too. So so when I walk in the house last night, I got a choice. Am I going to eat that or not eat that? Okay. I'm going to sleep better if I don't eat that. Okay. I'm going to dream better if I do. Choice though. And everything we do comes down to choice. Okay. How we treat somebody, how we treat our spouse, like that guy at the funeral home the other day. How we treat our spouse, your husband, your wife, or family member. How you treat your kids. Mikey comes here. Y'all know who Mikey is, right? Sits up here and talks to him. When he comes, a lot of times he'll sit in the very back row. He's in the Army. He lives since he moved to Beckley. He lives in Beckley, so he doesn't come as often as he was. But when he comes, it's Hardin's grandson. Okay, Papa Smith's grandson. So we're at the funeral home today, and I was talking to Mikey. Man, he's tore up over losing his grandfather. And we've been in the funeral home. That family's been in the funeral home a lot here lately. Okay, I said, Mikey, you have no regrets because of the way you treated your grandfather. He always honored him. Okay, when my dad passed, I mean, we gave each other a rough time in a joking way most of the time. When someone said something to me about give my dad a rough time, and I said, that's not disrespectful. He is reaping what he sowed. But everyone knew I loved my dad. We joked about stuff. I had no regrets about how I treated my dad or my mom. I had no regrets, and I don't mind saying, not ashamed to say that I love my mom and dad. And from the time I was 17 to the time Dad died, when I was 45 or whatever, I don't think I ever disobeyed him. Okay, if we argued about which tool to use on something or where he laid a hammer last, because I never lost anything he did. Bad joke. Okay, we really argument is just joking about till we found the stupid tool, whatever. Why he stuck it in the refrigerator, I had no idea. That's where Josiah gets it from. The baseball wiffle ball bat was in the refrigerator. Okay, I had no regrets. I tell Mikey, he had no regrets. You took Papa fishing. He took you fishing and hunting all the time when you were a kid. And then when he got older, you took him fishing and hunting all the time. And did everything he wanted to do. Becky took him in the car. He wanted to go to the store to do something or wanted to go to the bank and get money. Didn't need money. Okay? Just last Saturday or week before Saturday, she took him to the bank just to get, just whatever Dad wanted to do. Whatever Papa wanted to do. Just to do it. Okay? Just to show that respect and show that love. Okay, within the boundaries of right. Well, that's why Solomon built these. No, he knew it was wrong to build the temples for these other women, for the gods of these other women. Okay, it cost him dearly. Okay, who do you love? You love who you choose to love. Love is what is love? Love is the fulfilling of the law. That's what it comes down to. Well, is there not emotion tied to love? Yeah, there's all kinds of emotion tied to it. But to me, the emotion is the end result. Not the guiding factor in your love, in your relationship. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, that it's the end result. I love because I love because I made the investment. I love Tam because I made an investment in her 40 years ago. This year, it'll be 40 years ago we started dating. Okay, doesn't seem like it. Does anybody else remember what happened 40 years ago? Alan does. Yeah, y'all started kidding her. Okay, I love Tammy because we've made investment. She's invested in me for the last 40 years. She loves me. Okay. Well, the Bible says I have to. That doesn't say you don't love because you have to. You invest because you want to. Back to what I said earlier. We were talking about women's the LGBT community or whatever, and one people on TV said one day, "You can't help who you love." Yeah, you can. You choose who you want to love. The Bible, biblically speaking, you choose who you love. Okay. Yeah, love everybody. We're talking about who you quote fall in love with for your romantic dates for Valentine's Day or whatever. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to love everybody, but love is not the emotion side of it. Loving. Okay. Love is doing what's the right thing. But love for a lost person is taking them the gospel. Okay? Love for your neighbor is helping him out get his ox out of the ditch or whatever it is. Okay? Love for one person putting a roof on their house and someone else is fixing a flat tire. Okay? Love is seeing somebody else has a need. You got money, give them the money. Okay? I like giving stuff away. Okay? I don't give as much away as Tammy does. I like giving money away. I like buying stuff for people. Okay? There's friends I like to buy. David Underwood and I went out to had dinner after a horse sale the other night, and I was going to buy the dinner. We went to Long John Silver's, or leaving the horse sale, and I was going to pay for it. No, he wanted to pay for it. I said I'm going to pay for it, and he wanted to pay for it. I don't want to go argue with him about it. And so I almost stepped in front of him to pay the cashier before he did, but he wanted to, so I let him do it. Right? So sometimes love is let them buy you something. Right? Like talking about my cousin who called me and said, I wanted to send you this, I want to buy you this and send you this. Yeah, sometimes love is saying, okay, I'll let you do that. Because let them get the joy of doing something for you. Right? Who had more fun the day we put the roof on Miss Joe's house, her or us? I think we did. Well, then, we had more fun roofing the house than we had fun when Vonda showed up with food, and then we had more fun when Sue or somebody else showed up with more food, and then I think we ate like 3 times that day. But then Miss Joe fixed this Italian thing, and okay. You love, you choose to love. Happy Valentine's Day. Any more questions? Here's the biggest question. Where's Mama? All right. Anybody got any questions? Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for loving us. Thank you for the truth you've given us in your word. Help us love people where we ought to. Help us love our spouse, our boyfriend, girlfriend, the ones who brought close to us. Help us love our family where we ought to. Help us love our neighbors the way we should. Help us love our church family where we ought to. Make us obedient to you, not just because we have to do something, because we want to. Use us, please, for your glory. Help us be a witness this week as we go out. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Amen. You're dismissed. Rebecca made spaghetti. I don't know if there's any left. Hey, Tammy, I told them a story about that couple at the funeral home the other day. Yes, I did. So Danny just told Nikki to go get him a Dr. Pepper. Oh, yeah. My grandmother's name's Faisal.